Welcome to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to share with you issue 209 of the Knitting magazine. I have a design in this issue, so I'm going to talk about that. I filmed a little video before I sent the design off to the magazine, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. Then I'm going to come back and show you what is in the magazine. I'm not going to show you all of it, but just a few glimpses of what's in the magazine and what my design looks like photographed. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Before we start, I just want to tell you about a really exciting adventure I've got next year. April 2025, I am hosting a week-long retreat in Italy. It's in central Italy. The nearest international airport is Ancona, and it's a beautiful location. I will add a little video here showing what it looks like. We will be exploring the local area and local crafts and local food, and we will also have plenty of time for knitting. I will design an exclusive retreat project that you can work on during the retreat if you want to, and we will also have some workshops based around the retreat project and the techniques used. You'll get a beautiful goodie bag containing the yarn you need for the retreat projects and a few other goodies. I'm just in the middle of putting stuff together for that now. So if you're interested in joining me in Italy next year, there are still some spaces left. I will leave the link below this video. If you have any questions, just send me an email or leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. So issue 209 of the Knitter. So I'm going to take you back to the summer when I finished knitting this design and I sent it off to the magazine. I filmed a little bit before I sent it off so I can show you what it looks like in person, and then I'm going to come back and show you what the magazine looks like and what the photographs look like. So let's look at this shawl. This is filmed in the summer in August before I send this off to the magazine. So let's just have a look at it on my dress form. So you can style this in different ways. Let me take it off and we'll just look at the construction first. So I'll talk about the yarn and the colours in a minute, but this is an asymmetrical crescent triangular shape, a peaked crescent. You start over here with just a few stitches, and then you increase along the top edge, and then every few rows you decrease or you cast off a few stitches at the bottom here to get these kind of sawtooth edging, and then you cast off over here. So it's got a straight cast off edge, and I cast off using the Russian cast off, which is a very stretchy cast off. I think I have a tutorial. If I do, I'll link it below. And if I don't know how easy it is to see these, because these colors separately, they are quite contrasty when you hold them like that. When you knit them up, they do blend a lot more. So if you look on this side, can you see, and because it's so airy, I don't know how easy it is to see this, but on this side, the darker blue, the royal blue, is the main color, i.e. the knit stitches. And on this side, the turquoise is the main color. And then, hang on, let me just have a look. So we start with the dark blue, or the royal blue. I think it's more royal blue as the main color, and then here, I don't know how easy it's going to be to see this. Where is it? Oh, here. Here, you see there's a very subtle line here. It changes, so it goes from the dark blue being the main color to the turquoise being the main color. Here, just this line here, I don't know whether you can see it, but here the darker blue or the royal blue looks a bit more prominent, and then here the turquoise is more prominent. Can you see it changes here? So basically that is syncopated brioche, and you go from knitting, so on this bit, all the knit stitches on the right, on this side, on the right side, are worked in the royal blue, and then you basically flip it. So you start what is purl stitches here become knit stitches in this turquoise, and that makes the turquoise more prominent. So with brioche, whatever colour you work in the knit stitches in is the more prominent colour, and whichever colour you work the purl stitches in is the more it's the kind of the background colour. Because if you look at a rib, any kind of rib, the knit stitches pop out and the purl stitches kind of retreat to the bottom. So that's how you can change the colour in brioche without adding any fancy stitch patterns. You just change the colour and that can create a really nice and subtle effect. Mohair is not your thing, and I appreciate that not everyone's keen on mohair. I wear a lot of black, and mohair is not ideal when you wear black, which is why I'm not putting this around my neck, because I don't want my black t-shirt. It's already covered in mohair just from handling this, but I don't want it more covered in mohair because I'm going to go out soon. So I'm not going to put it on, but if you like the look of the shawl but mohair is not your thing, you can basically knit this in almost any yarn. So if you have another lace weight yarn, you can use that, especially if you have like lace over yarn left over from other shawls. You can even use more colors. If you have lots of leftover bits from other shawls or whatever you've knitted in lace weight yarn, but you haven't got 25 grams of each or more of each, you could just use more than one color. So you can use each repeat, change color after each repeat, for example. So if you have loads leftover yarn, that's more or less the same base yarn, if you like, which you will quite often have if you like lace weight yarns from, say, indie dyers. You may end up with a lot of leftovers that are more or less the same, except dyed by different indie dyers, if that makes sense. So you can use a smooth lace weight yarn rather than the mohair lace weight yarn. If you want a little bit of fluffiness but not as much as a mohair yarn, you could look for alpaca yarns. Some alpaca yarns, especially Suri alpaca, are fluffy, but they're not always as fluffy as the mohair yarn, although some of them are. You can also knit in a smooth yarn. If you haven't done brioche before and you haven't done work with lace weight yarns before, I would recommend going for a slightly bigger yarn to start with, thicker yarn to start with. So for example, you could use a 4-ply fingering weight yarn and knit it in that. If you use a thicker yarn, I would just go for a thicker needle. So this is knitted on 3.5mm needles for a lace weight yarn. If I was using 4-ply fingering weight yarn, I would use probably 4mm needles. If you use a DK yarn, I'd probably go up to 4.5 or maybe even 5mm needles. So you can be quite flexible, and because you can knit it as big or small as you wish, changing yarns, you have a bit more flexibility. You don't have to be that worried about having exactly the right amount of yarn. So if you are new to brioche, or you've done brioche before but you haven't worked it in like a shaped shawl pattern where you have to worry about shaping the shawl shape as you knit the brioche, then if you want to use a thicker yarn, or if you're not used to knitting with thin yarns and you want to use a thicker yarn or a yarn that's easier to knit with, then I would do that if I was you. Mohair lace weight and a new technique is not the easiest to knit with. So if you've done brioche before and you feel confident with the basic brioche, but you haven't done it in a shawl this kind of shape or in mohair, then you would probably be okay because you know how to do brioche. You could also just practice in the smoother yarn that's slightly thicker before you cast on. So instead of casting on for the shawl, cast on just for the first section, knit, a couple of repeats of the stitch pattern, and then when you're comfortable with it, you can then pick up your mohair and start knitting with that. Because mohair, lace with mohair and brioche can be a bit challenging when combined, but there are ways of making it easier. So this yarn is Angel by Debbie Bliss. I've used it before, but a long time ago. So I used colour 8, which is this colour, and colour 9, which is this colour. And the yarn is 72% mohair, 28% silk. It's 25 grams, 210 meters per 25 gram. And I used, on my scales, it weighs about 51 grams. So if I hadn't messed up at the start and had to start again a couple of times, I probably would have stuck to just one ball of each color. Normally I like to allow a bit of safety margin, so normally I would allow like 5 to 10% safety margin depending on the yarn thickness. So obviously if you just got one ball of each color, there is a good chance you may run out. So if you want to make sure you don't run out, then I would get 2 balls. And if you get 2 balls, you have loads left to make it bigger. So you can easily make this quite a bit bigger. If, like me, you're bigger person, or if you just like your shawls to be bigger. So lots of flexibility with this shawl. Right, I'll pass you back to future Anniken to talk more about the magazine and what's in this issue of the Knitter magazine. So let's have a look at the magazine. I love that design on the cover. It looks very nice and wintry. So let's just have a look at a couple of things in the magazine. I'm not going to show you everything. What I do like about the Knitter is the fact that they have all the designs on like a double page spread, so with page numbers, so you can find what you're looking for easily. And it also has the name of the designer, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. But there are some beautiful issues. There are some beautiful designs in this issue. The cover design is by Jacinta Bowie and it's called Caswell Bay. Then there is a knit along, and this is part 3 by Kath Andrews. And that's a beautiful kind of Shetland inspired shawl. Absolutely stunning, very, very big. So this is part 3. I don't know how many parts there are, but it is beautiful. And then there's a beautiful pair of hand warmers by Carol Meldrum. Another design which I think looks absolutely beautiful is a design by Lucy George, who's also in the like center. Isn't that colourful and nice? I like that. This is in the like, there's always like a center pull out thing, and there is an interview with Lucy George, and it's the pattern, and it's a beautiful pattern. Then there's some accessories, some more garments, but I'm not going to show you all of them. Some beautiful garments. There's an interview with Jewel Kebbleman, who is the dyer behind Hey Mama Wolf Yarns. And then there is my design. So it's called, I'm assuming this is in Norwegian, this would be pronounced Annet, and it means other or something else. So I don't know whether it means something else in another language, I don't know. But that's the shawl. It is a beautiful brioche shawl. The differences in the colours, where the colours are flipped and stuff, doesn't show as much in the photograph as it does in person, I don't think. The other photos is difficult to show you because I don't want to show you all details of the pattern. That is a men's design by Pat Mancini. There's an article on Stylecraft, and there's a beautiful brioche cow by Lisa Myers. That's very pretty, purple, so I like that. Then there are some other accessories, a shawl, beautiful shawl. Some there's a masterclass on the Estonian castle method. It's the guest column at the back, which is all about sheepy things. So it's a really good issue, and there's a Yorkshire Spinners ad for, I guess that's their Christmas yarn for this year, on the back. So it's a really nice issue. Lots of beautiful designs, lots of interesting articles. I'm looking forward to reading some of those. But that is beautiful. So that's what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about it. Are you tempted to knit brioche? If, like me, you are a little bit hesitant about mohair, then you can knit it in another yarn as well. It doesn't have to be mohair. It's a shawl, so you're a bit flexible when it comes to yarns. And you can obviously also go for a yarn with more contrast if you prefer that. But let me know if you're tempted to knit a brioche shawl. This, I think I said this in the video earlier, but this was my first brioche shawl where I had to do shaping. The only brioche shawls I've designed before have been rectangular. So I really enjoyed knitting this shawl back in the summer, and I'm looking forward to designing more brioche shawls in 2025. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. At the moment, I am in the middle of Vlogmas. So there are Vlogmas videos going up every Tuesday and Saturday, and then my podcast on Thursdays. And after Christmas, I'll be back to my normal schedule of podcasts on Thursday and another video, tutorial, yarn review, talking about a design, various other things happening on a Tuesday. So I hope you will subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.